y'all, and welcome to the From Launch to Legacy podcast, where we talk about everything behind the scenes on how to start and run a small business. I'm Courtney.
I'm Kenneth.
And we own Havens Business Services. So this is episode 9 or 10? 9.
I think this is 9.
Yes. So the last episodes have been about legal, back-end stuff. The last episode that we did, 8, was about your first clients.
Yep.
Today, we are going to start the conversation on branding. So this one is going to be more about your background research. Obviously, the funnest thing is to pick out your logo and your colors and get everything together like that. But really, to make it successful, you want to make sure that you get together some research beforehand. Let's start with what really your brand identity is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the heart of your business. It's how your customers perceive you, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you as a person, like who you are, your identity is of complex, multifaceted.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone can't just see one picture of you and know who you are.
Right.
Right. So there's lots of stuff that goes into it. And this may be a little bit weird, but it's kind of like a dating profile, right?
Yeah.
Because you have different pictures, they're all you, they're all the same thing, but they're different kind of versions to give more of an idea. So same thing with the back end of your branding. I do want to say that we are not branding and marketing specialists.
No. And like this episode, I'm letting you pretty much run this one because this one's out of my wheelhouse.
And I said he was going to say that over and over. So we are not professional marketing and branding people. So the tips that you're getting today are foundational framework type stuff. It is not going to be specific to any field. It's just the basics behind it. And there are a few guides that I made that go along with the regular episode guide. So anything that we talk about today, I will let you know, but there will be a specific fillable checklist so that you can figure out how to do this.
Was that syllabus?
Syllabus. Oh, we're going to need one eventually, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So even if you are going to do this yourself, this should give you enough to start out, or at least to have an idea of how to start out. Along with the next 2 episodes, at least, maybe more. But if you have a little bit of cash flow, or if you're working in trade, this should give you enough so that you can talk to a professional, know what you're looking for, and give them an idea of where you want to start.
Yep.
All right. So we already talked about how your brand it's not just your logo, it's your personality, it's your reputation, it's what instills trust and emotion in future clients or customers.
Yep.
Okay. So I have some examples here of well-known brands and feelings that they evoke, right? So what would you say Apple's feeling is? Or what do you think of when you think of Apple?
Expensive. I don't know. It's simple, clean, like
innovative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is Disney.
Happy, bright, chaotic.
Magic.
Magic. Yep. Yep.
Okay, and then this one is one that I came up with, of course, because it's local to our town. But what would you say about City Market?
It's hometown, intimate, very laid back.
Yeah.
Like that's the vibe I get from.
Yeah.
And that was how City Market was.
Yeah, I put family and charm.
Oh, well, there you go.
So you want it to be something like that. When you say the company name, there's something you can kind of describe. Maybe you don't have the same exact word. I mean, we had different feelings behind it, but
it's in the same area on the emotional spectrum.
Yep.
Like if I say Enron, like it makes you a little anxious.
Yeah, I was about to say scared.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So you want to make sure that you communicate your value, your expertise, and authority. When we first started, I was like, well, I don't have any of that, right?
Right.
But you do. You have experience, your work history, or you've been doing this as a craft for a long time, you have something.
Yeah. And if you're starting a business, you probably got more experience than 95% of people. Well, I think one of the mistakes that I used to make was when I'm talking to a client, comparing myself to other people in my space instead of comparing myself to the client's knowledge base.
Right.
And that's because the client doesn't care if there's CEO of KPMG or something, that's not an option.
Right.
I just need to know what they need and how to do that.
Yep. Aside from the stuff that we just talked about, something that you can do to help you kind of figure out that stuff is to do a competitor analysis. So this can be as detailed or as simple as, just a limitless, right?
Yep.
So the main things that you want to do is, and you can just Google them, or if you know your competitors in town, look at their websites, and it's just what is wrong, what do you not like?
Yep.
What's missing? What's different? Go through that and then look at their message and their values and then see what every company is repeating.
Yeah, what's consistent across the board.
And is that something that you want to repeat, or is that something that you're like, well, I'm going to go different?
Right.
Right? Because no one else has this.
Right.
So it just depends. You have to look at all of the things together and see if you want to go with the with the
grain.
Yeah, with the grain, or if you want to go completely against it. You don't want to just copy and paste someone else's stuff, though.
No.
You have to have a unique selling proposition, and we'll get into that later, but you need something that makes you different from the other group. Main thing on what your brand is and should be is that it's how you make people feel, and what
you can use your family and your friends. Like, what's the first word that pops in your head when you see this?
Yeah.
And that'll be a good barometer. Because if they're like
chaos,
fraud, or whatever. But yeah, that's what I would do. It's just that's a free resource, is all the people around you can give you. Just use people that you're confident are going to give you honest feedback. You don't want
don't use your middle school child or sibling. Okay, they are so mean.
I was going to say, don't use someone that's just going to be positive like a yes man. You with the opposite. Don't do that either.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is crafting your core message. And this can kind of go before or after the one after that, which is your ideal client or customer. We've touched on that in a few different episodes now. So if you have been following along in order, then you already kind of have an idea. If not, I would skim these, go over the ideal client, and then come back to it. This one also has a worksheet on the website that'll walk you through how to do each one of these different elements. And our website is www.havensconsulting.com. Click on resources, podcast guides, and they're all will be in there. All right, so you will know some of this stuff. It's said everywhere. You knew when you were going to start a business, right?
Right.
So what's the first thing that pops in your head when you're talking about like your branding elements?
Logo. That's the first thing that pops. If you say branding, that's the first thing that does pop in my head is logo.
Okay, well, he's skipping ahead. So we're going to start with mission statement.
Okay.
So your mission statement is like your core purpose. It is the specific problem that you solve right now, for whom,
right,
and how.
And these are the elements we're about to go over. These are really good for you internally. You don't have to put all this stuff like it didn't have to be out there in public, but this is stuff that you need to articulate so that way you know what they are.
Yes.
It gives you a little bit of direction, a little bit of purpose, a little bit of focus.
Yeah. I have a note at the end to make sure that we talk about you don't have to have all of these.
Right.
You should have some of these. And that if you don't put these things in place right now before you get started, your worst client is going to define who you become.
Yep. Yes.
Because that is who you're, not that you are going to be like your worst client, but who they make you be, right?
Right. And
how you interact with them.
Yeah. And the clients you'll get after that.
Yeah. Or, they layer on top of each other.
Yeah.
So if you know, well, this goes against one of these things we're going to talk about. It goes against my mission or my brand or my values or any of that. Then it's easier for you to say, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
Than if it's not defined and you're like, oh, it makes me feel a little hesitant, but I don't know.
Right. Because this gives you direction and focus. And if you don't have that, you'll just go wherever and trust us. That's not you'll wind up places you don't want to be.
Yeah. And we've done that, right? We started out with this. We kind of lost it. We came back to it. We went over all this stuff. We refocused. We realigned. We pivot, right?
Yep.
That's small business. Pivot.
Yeah. I mean, the industry we got into.
Yeah. Is leaving.
Yeah. It's this AI and people just self-preparing, or they're big enough that they have their own accounting staff. So, that was the core of our business, and we've completely pivoted away from that now.
Yep. So some of that stuff will change, and it's great if it changes, but just kind of know where you are. And if you are working with your spouse, this is even more critical because you both want to be on the same page.
Right. And you don't want to be heading towards two different companies that you have in your head.
Yep. So the mission statement's your core purpose, and it's about now. Your vision statement is about long-term future impact. So that's the future state of your business. And like I said, these are broken down on the website to help you go through and write your own. The next thing we have is your brand promise. So that's a consistent experience that your customers or clients can expect. This is how this is done every time.
Yep. This could be product quality. This can be, deliverables with if it's service-based or anything. But consistency is, it's huge.
It's the most important thing in branding and marketing is being consistent.
Yes. And delivering.
Yep. All right. So your next one is your commitment to customers. So this is, your brand promise and your commitment. Some people use those interchangeably or they have one or the other, but your commitment is going to be your guiding principles. So that's how you ensure satisfaction. So it does go along with your brand promise. The brand promise is more of how they feel, and the commitment is like how you do an interaction with your client or customer. Next is your core values. I've seen these on so many websites, right? It's like one word. It's like integrity or culture or whatever.
What does that even mean?
Well, like on our website, we have it defined. So it's your definition of that word, right? Or how that interacts in you. But those are your core values so that, if a problem comes up, you can say, all right, does this align with these 4, 5 different things? Does it cross a boundary with one of these things?
Right. Is it in the opposite of that territory? And these are things that you don't just throw down buzzwords or anything. Like, really think about what you want your business to be.
Yeah. What is the most important? If you have to give something up, which one is it?
Right.
And when you're looking at this stuff, it's not when you've had, this is totally wrong, right? Those are easy when it's like, this goes way off of what my company and my personal, that's not when you need these things. It's when you are on the
line.
edge.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if I should do this or not. That's when you want these things that you can look back on, even if you've just kind of written out some notes in a notebook. When you come up against something that you don't know if you should do, does it line out with these elements?
Yeah. And a lot of times, I feel like if you're having to ask yourself that question, you kind of already know the answer, but this gives you a concrete base to reference. And because sometimes you're like, well, no, I guess it is all right. I was kind of thinking about it in the wrong light, and that does happen. So, this is really good to ground you, and it's an anchor point to go back to and go, okay, this is all right. This is part of what I want to do. This is part of how I want my business to be represented.
Yep. And you can also use these in your conversations, right? So a client comes to you and they ask you to do something. It's not illegal, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you don't really feel comfortable, right?
Yep.
So you can say, I can't help you with this
Yep.
because it doesn't align with our company's values.
Yep.
It crosses the line or crosses the boundary between integrity and trust or whatever you've set up. All right. So the next thing is your About Us story. I have rewritten this 1,000 times. There's one that's up on the website now, and I always want to rewrite, right? I'm an editor. That's what I do. I'll chop it up for the rest of history.
Yeah.
And it's not even that the story changes.
You also, you want to tell a much bigger, a novel length story
yes,
of,
I do.
The past 3 years, 3.5 years.
Yes, I do, which is so crazy. Maybe there will be a spinoff podcast on what all went into that. All right. So with your About Us, and this can be a couple of sentences that help you remember where you came from, or it could be a few paragraphs that go up on your website or are used in some kind of article later on down the line. It can be anything, right? It can be a huge thing. Older restaurants, they have their About Us on the back of their menus. It could be something like that.
With a picture of their, grandparents that started it 50 years ago.
Yep. There's a couple of different ways that you can write an About Us too. You can go chronological, right? This is how this happened or whatever. Or you can just do it like, here's the problem, here's how we solved it.
Event-based. Or topic.
Yep. Okay, last one is going to be your tagline or slogan. That's going to be a memorable phrase. That almost didn't come out. So that's like Nike.
Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something like I was going to say ours is from launch to legacy, but that ended up being the name. But we were thinking about that tagline or slogan for the...
That's where it originated, was our tagline for HBS.
Right. So in each of those, while you're writing those out, whether you're just jotting it down on a notebook paper or you're getting the worksheet and filling it out step by step, you want to keep asking yourself why. Why is this important? Why do I need this? Why did this happen? Another thing, you want to make sure you're authentic, right?
Yes.
And that word I feel like gets so overused, just terrible, but you really do. You don't want to put a bunch of stuff because it sounds good and it doesn't align with your personality, right?
Right.
Like even when we get into like colors and logos and stuff, you don't want this bright, creative, colorful,
if
brain
you're a
size.
monotone human being.
Yeah. And then, Kenneth shows up with his
white, gray, black.
Yeah. And you're like, this isn't really what I expected. You just want to make sure it is like you, especially if you are a small company.
Because your personality is a part of your brand right now. I mean, if you're, one person show or you're the main one dealing with the clients or something, your personality is a big part of your brand.
Yes. Like our brand is 3 colors, right? Black, white, blue.
Yep.
Black and white photos because Kenneth deals with the clients.
Yep.
So that is our brand, right?
Yep.
That's that side. I'm wild and crazy, but I'm not going to client interaction, so they're not expecting this.
It's so weird that you're the like more flamboyant, bright one, and you're the one that's always behind the scenes, and I'm just but I'm the one that deals with the clients.
It is weird, right? That's very interesting. Like we're both doing the opposite of what our main personality would be. So key takeaways on all of your core elements are: this is who you are and what you stand for. Most of the time it's you, because in this realm, it's either you and a spouse, you and a friend, or you and a very small number of employees.
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the ideal client in more depth than we have on previous episodes. So there's a worksheet for this on the website. Again, that's www.havensconsulting.com in the resources. And your ideal client is critical. And I didn't really get this in the beginning. It wasn't explained to me in an easy manner. Everything was
niche.
Yeah, niche, but I don't know. I just didn't get a good explanation. I mean, that's why we started this podcast, right?
Yeah.
We started out and everything was contradictory or touched on something, and I wasn't sure what was actually important and what wasn't.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know how specific to be in dealing with this stuff, right?
Right. Because we came from backgrounds of, as employees, basically we were the fixers. When we came in, we knew how to solve the problems, but when we started this business, it was the being your own boss part.
Yeah.
And the front end. That's where, because we were very much back end people of just, we solve the problems, we build the process, which is
what I still do.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've, really transitioned our main service back into is that.
So if this seems overwhelming, any of this, just do one or two.
Yeah.
And work your way into it. I'm not going to tell you that you need to print out these worksheets and you need to have every answer to every question. Okay. Start with a small, easy things that you already know. Do a little bit of competitor analysis, which could just be cyber stalking on Facebook.
Sure.
You don't have to get in depth like I did with 10 spreadsheets on our competitors and all their pricing and all this.
Yeah.
I mean, just so much stuff that I spent forever on. I think you looked at 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So don't go too crazy on it, but this is just a helpful hand. Here's a bunch of different things to think about and look at. So you have demographics. Most people know what that is, right? That's your age, gender, location, profession, income level, education level, family status. Those are the demographics for everything, right?
I mean, yeah. That's
that goes into lots of
sample
stuff.
list of them. Yeah.
Yep. So just, if you're selling cups, it's probably 30. I know, because I love cups, you guys. Make
That's
me
her
some.
wheelhouse.
Send them to me. I just love them. So
no, don't send her cups. Don't do that.
I just
please.
bought a huge rack to put all my cups.
And it's almost full, so please don't send us cups.
Send me cups. So anyway, if you're selling cups, it's probably 30 to 45-year-old
women.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they're buying it for their kids.
Right.
This is who you're marketing to.
Or their husbands.
The 10-year-old or the husband, they don't care.
We have a cup.
Yeah, they don't care.
And someone else usually bought it for us.
Yeah. So even on something like that, kind of who you want to go to. That doesn't mean that you only talk to those people. It just means that you kind of market to those people.
Right. That's the people that you want to get out in front of. But this also, this is if you have an individual-based business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it's manufacturing or, various industries that are, 1 to 10 million. And that's, that's my niche.
Yeah.
That's my target group because that's what I have the most experience in.
Right. But when we very first started, it was just small business owners.
Right. It
in
was
our town.
Yeah.
Right.
And
so start small and kind of weed out the things you do want and you don't want and then hone in on all of this stuff. So next is your psychographics.
What is this?
It's their why. Not your why, but their why.
Okay.
Why are they coming to you?
Okay.
Because they want a cup. Or because they own a manufacturing company and there's a problem, but they don't know what it is. They need help finding the answer, right?
Yeah.
Or they think they have a problem. They need some clarification on it. They come to you and maybe it's that. Most likely it's something else, but they're too close to see it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I had a call yesterday with a guy setting up a manufacturing company and he's got some government financing that he's looking into and he was like, everyone I talk to doesn't know anything about it. I don't really know anything about it.
Mhm.
But he came to us. And so we're, kind of getting him all that information, going
Yeah.
through, making sure that he's all squared away because, if
Because
it's
it's
government
as
funding, like that's you gotta,
you have to make sure you're doing exactly what you're supposed
you gotta
to.
have dot all your T's and cross all your I's.
Oh, my Lanta. Okay, so that's finding their why, which would be values, attitudes, lifestyles, interests, cups. Next, the behavioral insight. So that's purchasing decisions. So like, how often are they buying this? Is this a repeatable thing? Is this
Right.
a one-time thing? Those are very important.
Yeah.
Where do you find them? Where should you market? Where should you be spending your time? I would not suggest, if you're selling cups, that you hang out on LinkedIn.
No.
Right?
Right.
You want to spend your time probably on Instagram.
Facebook, yeah.
Or Instagram, depending on your market.
I don't really know I don't know anything about Instagram.
Well, 2 episodes from now, I'll tell you about it.
Excellent.
Okay. Values, what they care most about, family, success, community, goals, aspirations. I mean, I could tell you each one of these things, but if you are wanting to go through this, we do have the ideal client worksheet where you can look through all of these, figure out what they mean in depth, and figure out how to find them for yourself. So one thing can be the most important on trying to figure out your ideal client is pain points, right?
Yep.
So the easiest way to think about this is, what's keeping them up at night?
Right.
What are they upset about? What are they frustrated about? Why did my koozie crack?
Right.
Why did that happen?
Yeah, why does my resin keep cracking every time I do this?
Yes.
Do I have a heat problem? Do I have a moisture problem? What's my...
Well, no, we're talking about the client. I'm talking about me.
Oh.
I want to know. I need a stronger koozie.
Okay.
That's what
Got
we're
it.
saying
Right.
there.
Sorry, this is client perspective.
Yes. Yeah. So a couple of things more in the service-based are like, is the client worried about fear of failure? Are they overwhelmed? Is their income inconsistent? So how can they,
Level out that cyclical,
yes,
income.
Yep. So you want to think about what the client or customer's problem is and how you can solve it.
Yeah, again, going back to what I mainly do, the problem that's keeping people up at night for our clients is why is my throughput not where I feel like it should be? We've checked all the boxes, we've done all the things, but why is I'm running at 70% efficiency? I'm supposed to be running at 80, which is really the practical upper limit. Or there, supply chain issues. I can't get my vendors to deliver in time, which is causing delays, which means I've got to issue discounts. And how do I fix that? Don't want to hold a bunch of inventory because now I've got cash tied up in stuff that's not selling.
And sometimes their market changes so fast.
Right. Yeah. And if you've got cyclical demand like that, that's, it's a very complex problem. It's really a game of hot potato with those resources because you can wind up holding a bunch of inventory you can't get rid of.
Or losing out.
Right. Or not having the inventory and someone else is putting out supply when demand's high and prices are good.
Yep. One of the things I think about is at a job I was working at before, we had Christmas stock, right? And it went crazy. And, I'm trying to do inventory. How much of this should I order? Okay, well, we usually sell 100. And I'm like, 100 over a month or 100 in the first 5 days?
Right.
Well, it's 100. I don't know. We sell out every year. Great. Then you need to order more. You have no idea how many you could sell if you never have sold.
Right. Yeah, you just sell out. You don't sell 100. You sell probably 250, but you had 100.
Yes.
That means it's 150 you missed out on. But don't go buy 1,000.
Right.
Go up to 200. And if you run out next year, all right, we'll try 350.
Yep. And things like if it's a box set, can you break it down? And some things you can, and some things you can't, because it says not
for individual sale.
Yep. So just things to think about there. So you are figuring out their pain points and frustrations. Okay, well, now, what's the solution there? And you can talk to existing clients and kind of figure out what other problems they're having, right?
Right.
Not just what you specifically specialize in, right? Which for us was like bookkeeping and taxes. And then we realized, well, really, people need help.
Yeah.
Just like general help that's not just their taxes.
Right, because that's what would happen, right? We get hired to, do a bookkeeping cleanup or something. And by the end of it, we worked on processes, we worked on automation, we worked on so many out of scope things.
So definitely listen to the episode where we talk about defining scope.
And scope creep. It's if you're service-based, scope creep is going to be the number one killer for you, because it's going to take time, it's going to take resources, it's going to take effort, it's going to take mental capacity, but there's no return on that. So that is, it's waste.
Yes.
There's some benefits to it. I mean, you can, your clients are happier and stuff, but it doesn't make up for all the things you lose.
Yeah, I was going to say that's really few and far between. Even happy clients, are they referring you? Did they even write a review?
Right. Right.
So, maybe they're happier, but is that getting you anything?
Right. Yeah. Did that translate and parlay into any sort of, benefit for you?
Yep. Another way that you can look at some of this stuff and try to figure out who your ideal client is and their pain points and what they're frustrated is looking at your competitors' reviews and seeing what people are complaining about.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Because I love it's going to be very difficult to enter a saturated market anyway. But if you're getting into a market where there's a lot of competition, trying to be the best at the thing that everyone's pretty good at is going to be real hard, especially if there's a big player, because they've kind of perfected it. They've got more resources than you do. It's, and we've said this before, because it's one of the things that when I heard it, I loved it. And just find what everyone else sucks at.
Yes.
And then get great at that, because you will, none of those other people can fill that gap. They're not competitors in your space anymore. You've eliminated competition by doing something no one else can do good enough to get the clients.
Yep. And I just had this idea. We should try it out. Maybe I'll get it in the guide before it goes up on the website in this, but you could go to AI, whichever one that you use, ChatGPT, Gemini, Anthropic, whatever, and say, look at all of the websites for X in my area and list out the negative reviews.
Yeah. The commonalities there.
Yeah.
And then you'll get some, I use AI for some, we obviously check that stuff, but
it helps start things and open your mind in a different way.
Yeah. I use AI to write a bunch of stuff just because
all of my stuff gets started there.
Yeah, and then fine tune and tweak.
Middle there.
Right.
I usually put in everything that I think I want to cover, run it through, read that, ask for more suggestions.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff, we've done it so many times that it's such an automatic thing that you don't even think to write down that step. And so people are, well, how did you get from,
here to there,
A to C? And
that's another thing is, are these in the most efficient order? That's something that I use when I'm doing this stuff. Because I haven't done it in years.
Yeah.
These beginning episodes,
because you're doing
I forget.
Yeah. You're just, brain dumping. It's just a free flow of thought.
Yeah.
Because that's how, you're remembering, this, and then, to have it help restructure.
Yep. All right. So those are things that you should be looking at when you are looking for your ideal client. I think the thing when I was researching this and when I was researching to do this episode and everything, the thing that people are forgetting is, who do you not want to work with? Some examples I have are people that complain about everyone they've worked with before.
Yeah, don't work with that person.
Have said things like, well, the last guy couldn't and the girl before him couldn't.
The last 3 tax preparers couldn't get, what's the common denominator here?
Right. You know, if they're bad mouthing their last person,
They're going to badmouth you.
they're going to badmouth you. And you can tell when someone is genuinely like, I don't want to talk bad about this person, but I need to make sure that this situation doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Versus, and then.
Right. Yeah. Because, yeah, you can tell when they're, we just had a bad experience with that. And then at least for us, I can usually see the work. I'm like, oh, yeah, you
Not
just had
good.
a bad experience.
Yep. Another one is if they are constantly complaining about pricing, right? If they're complaining about your initial pricing, they're not going to get easier to deal with if you have to add additional things, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. If they're haggling from the word go,
yeah.
I mean, I guess depending on your industry, if you're selling cups, that may be a, thing that you want to do is haggle. But
I don't haggle. If it's good quality, I want it.
Yeah, that's something I used to accommodate a lot of discounts early on because, you want the business and, well, was it too high? Was it?
Yep.
No,
and
it's not.
You need to make sure you're getting benefit, right? If you're going to give a discount of some sort, what are you getting in return?
Yeah, well, what offsets getting that discount? Because if there's not something, don't give the discount.
Yes. Whether that could still just be referrals, reviews, comments, likes, whatever.
Right.
Those are important, but make sure they're actually doing that.
Yeah, because your clients are and your customers are gonna hold you to your end of the bargain. So you make sure you hold them. And I don't want to come off here as, always make sure you're getting something out of.
Mm-hmm.
You're providing a service here or a product. We're just trying to make sure that you don't have someone run roughshod over you.
Well, the way I feel about everybody watching is you're my client.
Right.
Not them. You're my person that I'm trying to take care of. When we first started out, I know I've said this 1,000 times, but I couldn't find the information I was looking for. And if I did, it was few and far between. And I was scared.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make the wrong move. I didn't want to hire the wrong person. I didn't want to get scammed. Everyone does. Someone will get over on you.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. But you don't want to keep doing that.
Yeah. The first time is a learning experience. The second time is a problem.
Yep. So I just want to make sure that, our listeners know, I just want to help them not have the problems that we had in the beginning, right?
It's a whole reason.
Because especially in these early episodes, if you're listening to this right now and you're taking all my perfect, wonderful advice,
you're business, early on.
Your business is going to grow in such a great way that you can hire us once you hit.
Right. Once you have big problems.
Yeah.
Or snags or holdups.
Yeah. All right. So we just went over ideal client, and now last big topic for today is your unique selling proposition. So I heard this in networking groups and Facebook groups, in like coaching ads.
Mm-hmm. Every business book there is.
Yes. I didn't like the way they explained it. I didn't really understand why or what it was, right? And you'll see it as USP. There's a worksheet on the website.
Of course there is.
Can you imagine? So this is what you are uniquely good at, or the problem that you solve differently.
Yeah.
So it's
what sets you apart.
Yeah. What sets you apart? What's your unique thing? So I have a couple of examples here. So there's one, and I'm not sure what company this is. I did not make these up. These are real companies. I don't remember which one this was. But not just good coffee, but fastest artisan coffee for busy commuters, okay? So they're not just saying coffee house, right?
Yeah, because
they're saying artisan, good, fast.
For busy commuters, because I know when we've lived in DFW, we've commuted, we've had those 2-hour every day one-way commutes, and when traffic's like that, you're often running at a razor's edge for being on time, and you can't stop at Starbucks because it'll be 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So, this is a great, like, if I saw that, I'd be like, I'm going to stop by, whatever this place is. This next example I love.
One more thing about that example is it sets you up already for people complaining about the rush.
Right.
Like it's too fast. Well, this is for busy commuters, right?
Right.
This isn't for sit and chats.
Right.
Okay, so the rest of these I know, and I will see if you guess them because I don't have the names written down. So the milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Yes,
Who's that?
M&M's.
It is.
And I love this story. This is the one I was excited about because this goes back to what we were saying. Find something that everyone else is not good at. This was World War II, I'm pretty sure. And they were trying to find chocolates for military rations, along with those Lucky Strikes in there. But the problem was they were making a mess. And the chocolate melt and shipping and stuff. And so
if you've ever had a Hershey's bar that's been in the car.
Yeah.
Either you cut the little tip off and you squeeze it out, or you put that bad boy in the freezer.
Yeah, it's like a pudding pouch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was and I think it was Mars Company. They were like, well, we'll just put a, hard candy shell on it and it'll melt in your mouth, not in your hand.
Yeah.
And it's a huge, almost century-year-old brand now that's probably made them billions.
Yeah.
So
And you help with that.
Do what?
In your M&M purchasing.
Oh.
You definitely help M&M.
It's one of my top candies.
I know that. All right. So the next one is when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. Do you know who that is?
Sounds like FedEx.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. So that tells you, right? It's going to be there overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It's fast, right? It already tells you what it is, right?
Yeah. And so when they chunk it on your front porch hard, it was there to get fast, not soft.
Yes. So, like I said, there is a worksheet. You can go through these things and figure out what your unique selling proposition is. Everyone has one.
Right.
Okay. This is just a tip. Your messaging is not, if they see it once, they will buy it. Okay, your messaging, your brand, that's all about getting people to want to know more.
Yeah.
To raise their hand, to go to your website, right? I talk about this in a minute, but there's the rule of 7.
Yep.
So this is an old marketing thing. Doesn't work across everything now, right? Because marketing's so different, but it is still generally, you have to see something 7 times before you're willing to part money.
Yeah. And that's why setting your, kind of your brand apart is people don't want to jump in with a company they've never heard of.
Right.
So just being familiar, that's a huge thing.
So another thing is making sure that you're speaking their language. So if you're left brain, sometimes you can say things that people don't understand, right? You're using technical terms and things like that. So you want to make sure that you are using your branding and your marketing in a way that makes it understandable.
And accessible.
Yeah. And accessible. So one way that you can do that is go to Google Trends. Do you know about Google Trends?
A little bit.
So you can put in different words or categories of words and see how many people are researching that, right?
Yeah.
The amount of people that were researching consultant versus I can't remember, like bookkeeper or tax or tax preparer or something, was like crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And then you also, not just which word, but this is what people are looking for, right?
Yep.
So I have a couple of examples. Accountant versus tax strategist. That's something. So you can kind of, all right, well, do they like looking up accountant more or a specific thing more? Hairdresser versus stylist, that will change depending on your location too. More, I want to say, suburbs use hairdresser. Okay. And
more
in
urban.
Town, will use stylist.
Really?
More younger people use stylist. If you're doing roller sets, man, you probably need to put like
Beauty parlor.
beauty parlor.
That's what
Yes.
my grandma called it.
Yes, or beauty shop,
Oh, beauty shop. Yeah.
or cosmetologist. When you're doing your analytics, you want all of those words, right?
Right.
So that they can find you. But when you're doing your marketing, you want to use whichever term works best in your area and stuff. Another one that example I had was personal trainer versus fitness coach, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that what you are using is not just what's being asked of more, but actually what you are.
Right.
Right. Google that term, make sure you are calling yourself the right thing, right?
Yeah, if you're helping people with your taxes, they'll put financial advisor because you're going to get a lot of people wanting you to help them with their investments.
Yes. And like we said, you can use the stuff that we're talking about today to help you hire someone, right? So that you know what you want or whatever. You are going to have to know these words though, right?
Yeah, when you're shopping for someone to help you with your marketing, or you want to be able to be on the other side of this, be on the client side, and be able to, weed that out.
Yeah. One thing is you can't use the word accountant unless everyone in the firm.
Yeah, you have to have, everyone needs to be, at least here in Texas, different states have some different rules on this, but there's quite a few states that have this rule. Everyone needs to be a certified public accountant within that state. And then generally you've got to have a PLLC, a professional LLC, and then you can use, and you can't even have the word accountant on your, or accounting.
Yeah.
On your website, on your
which
marketing
we had
material.
no idea, right? Because your job for 30, 40, 50 years could be an accountant.
Right, because I was an internal accountant for, 20 years.
Right. Or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because they took that term, the Board of Certified Professional Accountants,
The Board of Public Accountancy.
yes, took that term, so you can't use it. Now, that's just one example.
And then they're very restrictive on, if you are a CPA, how you can name your company.
Yeah. So there's different things like that you just want to be aware of. If you're not sure what to look up, then just comment below and I'll do some research and find out for you if you've got anything like that.
Or it may be something we already ran across. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, and we'll help you out, and we can leave that comment, question and answer in the section, and then other people will see it. So if you have a question about anything, please comment, let us know, and
shoot us an email.
Yeah.
info@havensconsulting.com.
If you're asking the question, I promise other people are asking that same question.
Yes.
Okay.
And we love to find out new things that our clients might need because, we don't know what other people don't know until they ask us.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You could know something, like we were talking about, because we're going back to the beginning of our company, right? For all the background stuff. And, I forget.
Yeah.
How
many things you didn't know in the beginning.
Which was nothing, and I was terrified. And I've done this work before.
Right.
But I've never done it on my own.
Well, that was the biggest thing that we saw, right? It was when people started a company, they could do whatever the product or service was very well, but they realized that the back end was where they didn't have the expertise.
And
that's where we
the
came
back end is my expertise, right?
Right.
But I couldn't find the specific stuff I needed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so I made it.
Right.
So you're going to hear about specialization and niche or niche or whatever they call it in your area. This can be as specific or detailed, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I have, is you don't know exactly what your company is going to be. Whatever you have in your mind, if you're at this point, is not where you're going to be in 6 months, a year, 3 years,
Yeah. Demand will change. What people really are needing is probably slightly different than what you've got in your head.
And the whole entire world is changing because of AI.
Yeah, you gotta be nimble right now.
I mean, even like lawn care, right? You can map a route or a yard efficiency protocol.
Yeah.
And who knows what else, because I just had those two ideas
Yeah, I mean,
everything is changing.
I know that, some of the lawn care, since we're talking about that, are using it for, instead of Jobber, or those platforms to base, because you can save conversations and they can pay $20 a month, and it basically smart manages all of their when I need to come here and and it'll not optimize the route, because that's an unsolved problem in mathematics,
but it can help.
Yeah, it can definitely reduce.
This person has this size yard, whatever,
Right.
and this type of grass,
And
this
X amount of time.
Yep, this kind of weed situation, and get all those, together. Who knows? If you've got a weird situation, let us know, and we'll see what other ideas we can come up with. But you do want to have an idea of something specific, right? Like we started out with bookkeeping and taxes. Those are specific things. And we started local first. We started at local networking groups. You have to start somewhere. These are the easiest places to start.
Yeah, they're the simplest and most available.
A special local area, right?
It's the low-hanging fruit.
Yes. One of the examples I like is Facebook, right? It started out as
College kids.
College on one campus.
Yeah,
one college campuses.
Because it was Harvard. That's what Harvard basically calls their directory. It's a Facebook.
Yep. So it started there, and now it's one of the biggest companies in the entire world. It's one of the most recognizable brands on the planet.
Yeah.
And there's no words. It's just a symbol.
Just the F. Because I was like, Facebook is a word.
No, but I mean, the logo is.
Oh
not.
yeah, just the F.
Yeah. So, but they started as a specialty, right? And branched out, got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, he was like, we're going to make this thing for us to have an online version of our college directory. And now it's a data mine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Back to the lawn thing, right? Start out as, I'll mow your grass in this area, right?
Yeah.
And then you get bigger. Well, I'll also weed eat and pull shrubs and
you trim trees
and trim and then you get bigger and bigger, right? So that's why you do want to kind of specialize, go local first, and you don't want to get a huge big website, pay $20,000 and realize,
we don't do this.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. And you'll really feel out the demand. We said this earlier, your clients will let you know you'll be in the right realm.
Yeah.
Like you're mowing lawns, but they need tree service.
Yep.
And I mean, that's a very specialized area. That was kind of a bad example. I mean, arborists are highly skilled, but if it's not mowing lawns, it's cleaning up flower beds. That's what people need. So the people will ask, hey, do you?
Yep.
And if you're getting asked that question a lot and you're like, well, we really don't, do it. Figure out how to do it.
Another way to be looking at who to specialize with is at the networking groups, right? Refining your elevator pitch, change it up, see what gets people, asking for coffee more or more head nods or whatever. And if you don't know much about networking and elevator pitches, there's resources on the website.
Go back and watch those episodes.
Yes. Watch the episodes and download the elevator pitch guide on how to write that and what to do after the pitch, because that's super important. You can't just say it and leave. So our key takeaways on the unique selling proposition. It's your messaging. It's what is unique to you, and it's like your networking, right? It's your initial message. It's here's
why you would pick me over everyone else.
Yes, here I am. This is what I do. Pick me. Mm-hmm. And you change and refine, as needed. And the main three things are who you serve, what unique problem, and make sure you speak their language.
Yep. And don't adapt and take on new services, but don't do things that you're not going to be able to deliver properly, either not the appropriate quality or time frames, because that's going to hurt your brand.
Yeah. A little tip, because I had this, we talked about it a minute ago, is the rule of 7, right? Where you need to see something 7 times. So it's changed, and we'll probably go into that in the marketing a little bit more. But just to have an awareness, just to know that you are a company, someone has to see or hear about it 3 to 5 times. So I didn't know these numbers till today, but 3 to 5 times, and it makes total sense, right? I could be like, I don't know if I've heard of that or not, but after 3 or 5 times, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't really know what it is.
But you psychologically, subconsciously trust things you're more familiar with. It's just because things we're familiar with, we don't have to. We know it's predictable, right? That we feel safe, and so you can have a specific target, but cast a wide net.
Yep. To convert someone, it takes 5, but to 10, closer to 10 times. Like, oh man, if I give you any tip, it's if you have good clients, keep them. It's so much harder to convert. It's so much harder to find
expensive.
new, and we'll go into that.
Onboarding a new client is much more expensive than continuing with one that you've already got.
Yep. All right. So we've talked about defining your brand and the research that goes behind that, your ideal client, your unique selling proposition, these back end of the brand before you even, get to what creatives would think is the fun stuff, right?
Right.
Which is what we are going to talk about on the next episode. Will be your logo and colors and fonts and patterns and what a basic online presence looks like, and your Google business profile, which is so important.
Oh, do I get to do story time?
Yes, I actually put in there, Kenneth, tell a story.
Oh, you did. You did.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare story.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
And we hope that you guys enjoyed it. And go onto the website, www.havensconsulting.com, to look up all of these free resources on your USP, your ideal client, your elevator pitch, there's so many things. They're free.
Yep.
I hope that they change your life.
Yep.
And we will see you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.